What's going on YouTube? Got a special one today. Got my friend Lester here in his 96 850 Volvo sedan. This is like the fourth take. I've been saying wagon the whole time. We're gonna do a little show and tell for you, but before we do that, we're gonna do an oil change because you got an autocross this weekend.
This Sunday.
All right, oil change, cue the montage.
Hey, I'm Lester Brown, and this is my 1996 Volvo 850R. What Volvos mean to me, family tradition. As far as I can remember, the first one that ended up our family was kind of, it's tough to describe, but to me it seemed like it was the car that my father chose to purchase to kind of signify that he was ready to be a professional, or that he was a professional. The first one we had was a 740 model, 4-speed with the overdrive, and we had that car for years. That was one of the first cars I drove when I got my learners and drove it to high school.
With a button?
With a button, with a push down button. That car drove really well, and then from there it was just more of the same. So in the history of the family, we've had a 740 sedan, actually two of them. We've had two 740 wagons. My first car, like car that was mine, not just, you know, the family car, was a 240 sedan that we had gotten custom painted and had traded out door panels and fenders after some, you know, from damage that had been done previously. I took that one to college for my first year, and then after that I had a 740 sedan, then a S80 sedan, which that car drove incredible. Like, amazing sound system. It just felt like it was in the cloud. It was a different level. But this 850 is the second one I've had. The first one I had was a 5-speed manual. I drove that one for a lot of years in college. Loved that car to death. We went all over Virginia. It died with 300,000 miles on it, and for the records that I could find, on the original clutch, which is pretty unheard of. Sad to this day that I let it go to the junkyard, because now it is really popular to do manual swaps on these cars. Could that be a future for this car? Possibly, So what you're looking at is the performance model of the Volvo 850 that they made. The previous model year would have been 1995, was branded as a T5R. As soon as I sat in it, I said, this is it. And I couldn't have been more fortunate in finding this one. He was the second owner of it, had sold it to somebody else and then bought it back, and had done a lot of work to it mechanically and cosmetically to get it into this condition. So he had replaced the dash pad, he had redone the headliner, got the wheels refinished, done a bunch of engine work to it, and so it was really as good as you could get for the model year mechanically and cosmetically. And yeah, every day I get the chance to drive it is just smile inducing. So it's a great car. Right now it has a few modifications to it, but really for the age of the car, like, I want to keep it pretty true to stock. You see lots of people, they'll do upgraded turbos, AT&G K24, huge turbos on it that make a lot of power, and you need to do a few engine modifications to make sure they can handle it all. But I don't see that being the future I want for this car, because it is in such great shape, and it's a pretty good example of a time capsule. Right now, for the most part, it is, I try to drive it at least once a week, drive it to work. Of course, it gets parked on the end spot with windshield protection and as much shade as I can find, just so I can maintain it for what it is. It's been in 2 autocross events and finished mid-pack, and that is probably more to do with my level of skill as a driver than it is with the car. And then just, am I going to invest in the wheels, sticky tires, and that kind of thing? Because everything when I've run it autocross has been stock, or how I got it. So, but yeah, so we've done 2 autocross events, and we're getting ready for an autocross event this weekend. So it was time for an oil change and just get under the car, make sure everything looks like it's in good shape. Once I got back into this car and got back into Volvos, I was looking around for a community, and there have been groups over time, and so kind of just decided it was time to bring back one back. So we started RVA Swedes. If you look it up on social media, it's Facebook and on Instagram. And so we are a group of Volvo and SAAB owners. So we just do a big net. So all Swedish love, a whole bunch of meatballs that we are.
In Richmond, Virginia.
In Richmond, Virginia, yes.
Yeah. Obviously, you can follow if you're outside of
Yeah, follow everywhere. We have followers. We do a feature every couple of weeks where it's, show us what you got. And more than one week, I've gotten messages from Volvo owners in Sweden, in the homeland, and so they've been featured on our feed. But yeah, there's a good solid group of us, and we do meets and we do cruises, and this has been a cruise leader several times, and people say that it's really good for that fact because it's the bright red, so it's really easy to see where it is on the road. So.
And what would you say to someone who's thinking about buying a Volvo, or specifically an 850 or an 850R?
Do it. No, there is a really passionate community for Volvos by itself, and then for the 850, there's lots of people out there with knowledge. There's a really popular YouTuber for Volvos called Robert Spinner, and he has multiple instructional videos on how to do any kind of maintenance or upgrades to these cars. I'll put a link in there, but Robert Spinner, he's based out of the Southwest right now. But yeah, more than one video have I watched in hand while there's another hand in the engine trying to find the right angle to be like, oh, that's what he's talking about. So yeah, there's a great resource out there for keeping these cars on the road. He has several that have gone like 400,000. We've had several Volvos in our family go, 3 of them go over 300,000 miles. So it's a car that lasts. The older, what they call red blocks, so the 200 series, 700 series engines, like they'll take a lot of abuse and keep going. So if you can find one of those, that's a really solid investment. These cars are really solid investments. They're fun. Even the non-turbo versions with a manual, they're kind of quick. That was the one I had and had a lot of fun with it. So, and even the newer ones,
All right, folks, so there you have it. Thanks for tuning in. My buddy Lester, his 96 850R, and maybe you'll see it again in the channel in the future. But until then, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See ya.